Well, Maya Angelou said it best. When you know better, you do better. I'm going to show you 10 guidelines to follow so that you can hire the best candidate. Online dating for men and women is completely different. Most men don't nearly have the same kind of attention that women get. Here's what the inbox looks like for women, and here's what the inbox typically looks like for men. So you see, ladies, you actually have the upper hand here. So there's no reason for you to be choosing from the bottom of the barrel. A lot of people have opinions about online dating, but the reality is most people are really busy. And online dating is just simply easier and more convenient. Not to mention, you have an opportunity to meet a wider range of men than you would normally meet or even come in contact with. Well, here's 10 guidelines for you to follow while you're out there on the scene. First off, let's focus on your profile pic. No false advertisements, ladies. Add pictures that reflect who you are currently, who you are today, and not one from a million years ago when you were 20 pounds lighter. And please stop with all the filters. You can't walk around with a filter on your face in real life, so there's no point in you being deceitful before you even get this thing started. You got this man thinking he getting one thing, he show up with Cruella de Vil. Choose tasteful clothing. Take a look at the photos. Are they appropriate to have on? And what do they lead someone to believe about the women in these pictures? Now look, nothing's wrong with posting pictures that make you feel attractive and confident. I'm all for a woman's right to choose. However, keep in mind the person on the other end. If you're trying to look sexy, you will most likely find a man who's trying to have sex. So just keep that in mind. Remember to have a full body shot, and don't forget to smile. Keep your profile description short. Include things like what you enjoy, what you're looking for, what makes you special above every other woman that's out there. Try to avoid writing some long drawn out story. Save the real conversation for your messaging and then face-to-face conversation. All right, so you've seen a profile that you like. Women often wonder, is it all right for you to reach out first? Well, baby, it's the millennium. Yes, of course. Go ahead and reach out. I encourage you to take a more active role in your future. This is your life, your love life, and you need to take control of it. Reach out to the men you want to talk to, and don't communicate with those whose profile and interaction with you are not what you're looking for. The ball is in your court, ladies. You need to think of yourself as the most valuable company, and you only want the most qualified employee in your building. You got to think like a boss. What are some of the qualities that you are looking for in a man? And what your non-negotiables are? What are those things you are not willing to tolerate? Here's a list of some things, some qualities that I think are valuable. When you're looking at these qualities, I want you to ask yourself, have you been accepting less? Do you deserve less? Then please, ladies, why are you settling for less? There's nothing wrong with having standards. You don't have to lower your bar to meet where they're at. You need to let them know what your expectations are and hold to that. My mother always said, closed mouths don't get fed. So you better speak up about what you want and what you need out of a relationship. Yes, I understand. Nobody's perfect. Absolutely. But you should have a clear list of things that you won't tolerate under any circumstances and hold that line all the way through. Initially, when you're online, you're going to notice their picture and you're going to judge them on their appearance. But I'd encourage you to make sure that you're paying attention to all the details and carefully look through every single photo and pay special attention to what's going on in the background of those photos. Girl, you'll gain valuable insight about the person, their environment, and the things that they value. In this next section, we're going to play a game. I'm going to give you a short scenario, And then I ask you to take a look at the photos and see if you can glean more information from the photos. All right, so here's photo 1. His profile says he is single and ready to mingle. He wants to find a nice woman to settle down with, and he loves the beach and long walks across the sand. Take a look at the pic. Did you notice anything that the photo tells you that maybe, possibly he's being dishonest? Well, let's look again. Do you notice the woman's hair blowing in the wind? And did you see part of her dress in the picture? He didn't do a good job cropping. And he doesn't look too single now, does he? All right, so off to photo 2. This man in his profile, he says he's a busy professional. All work and very little play. As you can see, I'm laying here tired. I'm looking for a woman to spend my time with. And he says he has no children and he's not looking to have any. And he would prefer that you not have any kids either. He would just prefer spending time alone with you after a long day's work. So what are some of the things you notice in this photo that would tell you a little more about him? Okay, you ready? Let's take a look again. Were you able to spot all the details? If not, your detective skills need a bunch of work. You are no junior detective today. I suggest you spend a little more time combing over those profile pics. You might be missing something. If you like this video so far, please do me a favor and hit that like button. That's the one where the thumb is up. If you stay to the end, I have some bonus information to give you that you're not going to find mentioned anywhere in this video right now. So hang in there, okay? All right, back to the topic. So now, we've examined the profile pics and pay attention to that description. People that are dating online try their best to put their best foot forward. So if you're reading their profile and there's tons of words misspelled and huge grammatical errors, girl, they might have bigger problems, like not being organized in their thoughts, being careless, or not paying any attention to detail. That man may be fine as wine. He might look good, girl, but if a man had those qualities in real life, would you want to date him? I think not. You've looked at everything, you like what you see, so now it's time to make contact and send him a message through the app. The majority of your discussion should focus on what you're seeing in his profile pics, not how you think he looks. Start with the same kind of conversation you are hoping that you'll get back from him. So maybe you make reference to a book that you've seen in the background of his picture. Or maybe you talk about that in his profile description, he mentioned he enjoys movies. So maybe you ask him, what kind of movies does he like? What was the last movie that he went to? Anyway, you get the gist. But don't talk about how fine he is, you love his lips, or anything even remotely close to that. Don't even tell that man he's cute. We got plenty of time for that. We're looking for content. You want the majority of your first conversation not to be surface level. Ask him questions that require an explanation. That way you can see if he's really trying to engage with you and have an actual, true conversation. Look, once a man realizes he has your attention because his inbox is probably looking pretty slim, oh girl, he'll do everything he can to stretch that conversation out. And if he doesn't, and his responses to you are really short, it's because he either doesn't like you or he's just looking to hook up and he's not trying to invest a whole lot of time, or he's looking for you to chase him. Girl, none of those things are good, so just move on. If your message to him is significantly longer than the ones that he sends to you, girl, that's a telltale sign that he's taking advantage of your interest in him. The bottom line is, you don't want to start something like this where you're doing way more than he is to keep him invested. Let's discuss. How long do you talk to the man on the app before you start exchanging phone numbers? Because you know, real quick, a man be quick to say, hey, let me give you my number. Let's talk offline. Now I know you're thinking, a man isn't going to want to talk to me on this app for a long period of time. Well, that isn't true. If a man is really interested in you and he really wants to get to know you, he will talk on that app as long as it takes for you to feel comfortable. I'm only saying this because I've done it. I met my husband online, and look, I didn't get off that app for quite some time. He wasn't getting my phone number. I didn't want no new stalker in my life in case I didn't like him. Luckily, he turned out to be a good guy. All right, so now, if a man right out the gate asks you for your phone number and says, give him a call sometime, girl, be done with him. He's already showing you he's not a man that's willing to pursue a woman. If you fall for this, you're already setting up a horrible power dynamic, and girl, it's not in your favor. If he has very little to discuss and he's telling jokes and flirting without talking about anything worthwhile or just saying something flirty, girl, he's not that serious about getting to know you. Communication in real life is just as important on the app because it is a life skill that you have to have in any relationship. So if he can't manage this on an app, girl, he ain't gonna be able to give this to you long term. Lastly, know when you are being seduced. Try and limit any kind of conversation that has sexual innuendos or sexual comments.
Oh, baby.
Unless that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for a hookup, then get your hookup. Girl, the D is everywhere. However, it's hard to find love. So be selective, ladies. So if he's constantly pointing the conversation towards sex, then that's what he wants from you. Don't build from lust if what you really want is love. Girl, he's already showing you what he's about if you just pay attention. Now, if he's really trying to get to know you, his conversation is quality, and there's no sexual undertones,
Hallelujah!
then this may be somebody you want to move forward with. Oh, there are simply too many men out there to be wasting your time with some knucklehead. If the conversation isn't up to par, girl, get unavailable. But if that man is doing all the right things and you feel comfortable with him, then decide where you want to go out on your date. But before you go, I need you to check out my video, Recognizing Red Flags. Now look, there'll be a little box that has the video there. Just click on it and you'll be able to watch that video. If you're someone who is really, truly looking for a solid relationship, I put 2 really good books that I've read personally down in the description. So if you want to check those out, they're really good reads. All right then, ladies, I'll see you next Thursday.